Yes.
What's up, Pancho?
What's up, man? How you doing, Cameron? Nice
Pretty
to meet you.
good, dude.
Well, nice to meet you, first of all. I know
Yes,
this is
nice to
our,
meet you
our,
too.
our first chat. How you doing? All good?
Yeah, man. All is
Excellent.
well.
All is well. Excellent. Where are you calling from today? Where are you at?
Columbus.
Columbus, Ohio. Are you at the office at the moment, or where are you?
Yep. I'm
Still
at
at the
my
office?
office. Yep.
Still making calls?
Yep.
Very good. How you doing so far, appointments wise?
I'm actually moving tomorrow, so I'm doing the live transfers.
Oh, you're doing live transfers? Man, I'm so
Yeah.
excited that you brought that up because I'm about to ask you a couple of questions on that as well.
Okay.
That's great. Well, for
That's
you guys
fresh for me. I've probably gotten 10 calls total, but
so
I
far,
can, yeah, I can give you what I know and what I've seen so far.
very good. That's amazing. Well, this is gonna be should be a good time. It should be about 30 minutes or so. I don't know if you've seen any of the previous episodes or so, but it's pretty straightforward. I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions just to learn a little bit about yourself, how you got started with here with FFL, with Family First Life, your current experience with it. I would love to hear a lot about your in-home in particular, but then we're also going to touch a little bit about the live transfers, which is a new feature that we're all across FFL people are starting to pick up on, and it's a huge opportunity. So we don't have to get on the car and drive miles and miles and miles,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So that's exciting. That's really good. So let's get started with that, Cam. So you're in Columbus, Ohio.
Yep.
We had Andy first week. Uh, of course, he was in Idaho. Then we had Calvin, of course, in Austin, Texas.
Yep.
We had
Studs.
last yeah, exactly. I know. Last week we had who did we have last week? Last week we had oh my God, he's in Oregon. Oh my God,
But
I'm having like
is it
who?
Brian?
Nope, nope, not Brian,
No.
no Brian. Henry Payne. We had Henry
Oh,
Payne
Henry,
last week. We
yes.
had Henry Payne last week. So man,
He's
you're
great.
you're you're in with a huge lineup right now. People that are killing it, and they're being
Appreciate it.
recommending people that are doing really well. Next week we have um who do we have next week? We have let me think. Oh, Michael Herman. So
Oh
another one,
yeah.
dude. They're all doing
Yes.
amazing. So
Great
tell
friend of
me,
mine too.
is it? Oh, here we
Yeah.
go. This is great. All right, so let's get started with this. So you're in Columbus, Ohio. Tell me a little bit
Yep.
about what were you doing before Family First Live?
I come from I'm a captive insurance agency, so I was a sales agent
All
and had a
right.
smaller team. But um, what led up to this was just the realization that the dream that was sold to me really wasn't reality.
All right.
Um, so I decided to move to Florida for a little bit, um, and I joined FFL in February of this year. And since then, it's been pretty fun. I've just been really running business and focusing on activity and making sure that this year I do hit Hall of Fame, um,
I'm sure you're on
which
track for
is
that.
I I think I'm a little bit over 220. I'll have to look at the end of September, but um, I just hired my full-time admin, so things are about to take off soon. I'm excited.
Congratulations. Those are very good news. So you were previously with a captive agency. What do you do before that? Anything else? Anything else besides sales or anything like that?
Not really. I mean, I worked at Volvo selling Volvos and Porsches one time, but that was for like 3 months and I was 18. And then after that, I did different odd jobs like landscaping and moving and like working at a furniture store, like a tile store. I've done really
Interesting.
a lot of different things, but I feel like the competitive nature of just insurance itself is really, as far as competing with your friends and your peers to help more families, and within yourself, is why I decided to keep on trucking with insurance.
That's great. That's great. And plus, for the looks of it, looks like you also like to compete in bodybuilding. Is that right?
Yeah, so
You
right
did.
now I'm
You've done.
actually,
You've done a bit of that.
yep, so right now I'm actually taking a little bit of a break, but I am still working out. Um, I'm going full head on into this thing right now. So um, I do still work out in the morning or at night or whenever I can really get it in, but I'm traveling a whole lot. I'm flying back and forth from Alabama and Florida. Sometimes I drive to Northern Kentucky or Indiana or Michigan, really just wherever the leads or I feel like there's a big pocket of leads where I can really go kill it one weekend, that's where I'll go.
That's great. That's great. So, if you can just like talk to me a little bit, because
Trey.
my background particularly, yeah, yeah. So, my background was something completely different than insurance. Before I used to work in tech industry, particularly
Oh,
out of
okay.
college. I worked at Apple for about 5 years, then I worked for another company. Uh, and right out of there, I always want to be my own boss. So
Hmm.
left that to start with FFL and be able to control my time, help people, just control my time, my money, and travel around, which I love to do.
Yeah, me
So
too.
I can imagine. So because yeah, you just mentioned a bunch of states in 2 seconds. So so all right. So let's go a little bit into what I would like to learn a little bit about you, because you've been doing this for how many years now? How long have you been doing insurance?
Um, 2.5 years, like on the nose.
2.5 years. Okay, very good. So I know that in comparison with other practice companies, the way they call it, the way that we do things like in the in-home is different, the
Hmm.
inventory sheet, this and that.
It's a lot
So
different.
what were some things that you thought, oh my God, man, this saves a lot of time, or something that was like a game changer for you coming into Family First Life?
Well, to be honest with you, it's two completely different opportunities, two completely different things. I mean, at the company beforehand, you're treated kind of like a W-2 employee. You got to be here at this time, and if you're not, there's consequences type deal. Um, and really, I just felt like everybody was on me and on my back, and I really, um, so the biggest thing I'm going to get at is freedom, to be honest with you. Freedom to do what you want, when you want, where you want,
Yeah.
make as much as you want, and really make what you're worth. Now, instead of recruiting to get paid because of bonuses that you get off your people, and then those people quit 3 weeks, 6 weeks later, you can come here and actually help people who want to sell or want to buy life insurance from you in the
Hmm.
first place because they've requested it, right? Or they literally will take the time to mail it back, which is what I love so much about this. It says what it is exactly on that paper, and they mail it back. At the old place, I just felt like it was always a little bit of a stressor to work, and I was stressed
Why
selling
is
the
that?
products.
Why was that?
It felt like the bait and switch process. Obviously, it's been
Oh,
around for 100 years. Who knows how long? But um, it gets to you say certain things, or I don't know.
that, yeah, which here you don't have to be. Here it's pretty
You don't.
straightforward. It's like, hey, Cam, we just received your request for life insurance, San Francisco, blah, blah. I'm the agent in
Yep.
your area. You just set up
Now,
the
the
appointment.
only difference is
Hmm.
that the higher ups at these companies will tell, the lower people, whatever your position may be, maybe you just got there, that those people buy leads. You don't want to do that. The reality is they're buying leads for you, right? And they're selecting who gets it. Why is your paycheck based on what he thinks your ability is?
Wow.
Invest in yourself because they're buying leads in the first
Wow.
place. They're buying leads in the first place. Why is it bad for us to invest in ourselves when they're
That's why
doing it for you guys?
that's why you feel that you're being treated like a W-2 employee, because they're buying the leads, and if you don't show up, then they this is what I'm understanding. If you don't show up on time, you don't do the things that they recommend, then they won't give you the leads. So here
Right.
you do have, as you mentioned, that freedom.
And they say that, you take a hit on the lead costs, right? It's so simple. I don't even focus on ROI, but I know it's there because my bank account has 10x since I've come here.
Right.
And it's steady too. Like I can gauge now what I need to put into leads, or what type of lead flow I need for a trip in order to at least make 10,000 and go home.
Right. So yeah, you can break it down, and you do have that freedom to control
Right. But over
whatever you
there,
want to do. Yeah. Uh-huh.
and I know at several other companies, if you don't abide by their, timing, or you don't show up to a meeting, they either A, won't give you leads, or they'll take away your leads, and then you don't have a source of income. So then
Then
then you gotta cold call, then you gotta prospect and bring on.
wow,
Right. It's
wow, that's brutal, man.
mhm.
I'm so lucky that I found Family First Life
Me too.
like right away,
Yep.
like out of the gate, because yeah, man, like wow, that sounds very stressful. That sounds
It
super
was.
stressful.
It was.
The well, I think I'm very lucky, I think, and we're very lucky to be here. So I wonder why some people stay in places like that when they, even though like they hear about Family First Life and the opportunity. I think are they? Do you think that they're mainly scared about like betting on themselves, buying leads, that kind of stuff, or what do you think is the main thing
The
that keeps
main
them?
thing is what happens is you come in there and they suck you into this almost like Wolf of Wall Street type environment, or this there's this loyalty aspect almost to a point to where you should put them first before you would put like family events and stuff like that. So if they're having an event and you're not there, you're going to feel it in the future because you're going to feel like you missed out on something or holding something back. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a loyalty trick. They get you drinking the Kool-Aid early,
Big
and then you're
time, I can
sucked
imagine.
in. You get really good leads if they like the look of you up front, and then you just have to write it out and grind it for 100 hours a week. It's literally 24/7 that somebody's thinking about what is that guy doing because I'm buying his leads.
Wow. Okay. I had no clue about that. So like being here like 9 months with FFL, like no one ever like mentioned or explained like how those things work in other companies. I had no idea.
Like you just
So
get random FaceTimes at 9:30 in the morning, like, yeah, what are you doing?
oh, I mean, I'm walking my dog. Like, why are you walking your dog? You're not calling the leads, kind of thing.
Yep,
Wow, man, that's ridiculous. Well, I'm glad we're here.
me
So
too. Me
good.
too.
Wow, that's incredible. It makes sense. It makes sense. So it makes sense why a lot of people are moving to Family First Life, so, like every day.
Hmm.
So, question. Uh, in regards to, of course, you've been at this for over 2.5 years. Like you've sat with hundreds of people, if
Hmm.
not thousands by now.
Hmm.
Um, Talk to me about your in-home. Like walk me through a little bit about like getting in there. Like how do you prepare yourself before going to the in-home? What do you bring in? How do you introduce yourself? The whole process from the beginning to the end.
This
And
is
so I
this
can
is
understand
why
your structure.
this is why I love the concept of buying leads as an agent, right? Because if let's say that particular client, you didn't buy the lead, right? I'll give you two scenarios. You didn't buy the lead, but that particular client canceled on you, right? You didn't answer the phone, they left you a voicemail. Don't come over. You're probably not going there because you don't care, right? But the only reason that somebody would cancel when they already agreed, they checked their calendar, everything on the phone with you is because they're scared to have you come in their house. That's it. Or they're nervous to get sold something, right? That they don't need. So
It
for
happened to
me
me
at the
that
old
in
company, I
Texas
definitely
last
wouldn't
week.
have gone. Yeah, I wouldn't have gone for sure at the old company. But here, you still show up. They don't even mention that they canceled. Like they don't even say anything about it, and the appointment goes as planned because my stuff is very very straight to the point. Um, I figured out that when I'm taking a sales approach, right, you got to like compliment, you got to build rapport, you got to spend 15 minutes getting them comfortable. When they requested life insurance, I have a license to sell life insurance. They requested it. So there's
Right.
nothing else to talk about.
Hmm.
We're there to protect your family. First, when I walk in the door, obviously I'm Cam. We talked about the life insurance, shoes on or off. And then I go straight to the table, if not the table. I used to stand up, but I mean, now I just, it's so, my words are what just really puts everybody at ease. So I'll sit down and say, here's my license. I'm an underwriter as well as a broker with Family First. I don't work for any insurance companies. I work with them to ensure best value to the clients. So all I'm here today to do um, is fill out this form. But first, I want to fill out first and foremost, why did you request the life insurance? Is it because you don't have any, you don't have enough, or you want to leave a little bit extra behind for somebody? And I just let them tell me,
Which one is it?
right? And if it's not one of those, they'll tell me why.
That's right.
Yep. And then from there, I'm like, well, perfect. I dive into that scenario, whatever it is. I try to ask at least two, three, four questions about that particular situation to get them thinking about it. And then I just ask them straight up, what does that look like? Like, let's say I showed up today, you had died last night. Your daughter, Sarah, is here picking up the pieces, and she's with me right now instead of you sitting here. Perfect. Okay. So all I'm going to do today is fill out the client suitability sheet. I don't have one with me, but it's the final expense worksheet or a mortgage
Correct.
sheet. Both appointments go the same way.
Yeah.
First, I just figure out what. Well, first, now I hand them my license. I used to not do anything and just say, "Why am I here? Like, what do you need life insurance for?" This is a big deal, but it can go very smoothly and very fast because I'm good at my job. But after I get past the point of them continuing to talk about and think about the beneficiary, I'll just tell them that I'm there to fill out the client suitability sheet to make sure I'm not wasting both of our times. This is going to make sure I can help you today.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
And tell us a little bit, like, what is that client suitability sheet? What do we collect in there in order to get to what point?
Okay, so for me, I don't want them to feel like they can just have life insurance, right? I'm trying to make them seem like it's kind of risky to put any application through because a denial can show up on your permanent record.
Correct.
So all I'm trying to do is figure out, in my mind, my professional mind, right? What company, and if I don't know, I'm going to call a superior, right? Based on your age, your health, and your budget, what company and what product to show you for coverage.
Right.
Because if I don't break down your budget, I'll tell them this too. If I don't break down your budget, I have no clue what to show you, and it makes no sense for you guys to be shown numbers that you can't afford, because this isn't something you're going to want to cancel. If something comes up, you can't just go and cancel your life insurance. For one, it's going to have cash value in there, and two, you're going to forget about it, and 6 months later, something might happen because tomorrow's never promised. Does that all make sense for you?
Mm-hmm.
And then after we agree on, something that we think would financially make sense for both of us, right? Obviously, I'm not here to make a sale. I'm here to help you get approved. I'm not like a normal sales guy. They can come out here and pitch you something for 2 hours, something you really don't need at the end of the day. I'm just here to get you a $10,000 life insurance policy, right? So just being,
right.
My in-home has gotten very, very straightforward until we're filling out an application.
Very good. Very good. Do you ask, how do you go about medical questions there at that point in time and so on?
I know because I'm seasoned, I'm just listing off medications. If they say yes to heart attack or stroke, I'm straight into the Plavix, the warfarin, the Eliquis. If they say high blood pressure, I'm straight into is it lisinopril, losartan? Are you on omeprazole for acid reflux? Are you on amlodipine? Are you on levothyroxine for thyroid, and pills, insulin, metformin for diabetes? I just want to know, so that way, at the same time, that puts them at ease, like, oh, he knows what he's talking about.
Exactly. And any person who's watching right now can tell right away that you know what you're talking about just by mentioning a couple like things like that, which is great that you bring that up because it
Even
shows
if you
clearly what you're doing. But even if you don't, it's the right thing to do regardless, to just, of course, write everything down, because for brand new people, we also have access to kind of like a cheat sheet, if you want to think it that way, where you can, of course, like plug in the medications or the conditions and then figure out which company we can go to as well, which makes it easier. So you don't have to figure out what every single product from every single company. Dude, imagine that. That'll be just so like time draining. So very good. So once you figure that out, have you done annuities before? Are you doing anything like that? Do you ask the question at home if they have something else to understand how much they'll need?
Now
how do you go about it?
I do that. I do ask about net worth, just to put it in perspective. What are we protecting here?
Mm-hmm.
And that's in mortgage appointments typically.
Right.
My life insurance appointments, I just break down the budget.
Right. Yeah.
And I do the main job and ask questions later.
I'm
there to write a policy for that family.
So
honestly, now my appointments are like 30 minutes or they're 5, because I figure out if they're buying or if I'm going to have a struggle. I could be door knocking my $60 mortgage leads, right?
Correct. No, it makes total sense, because as you mentioned, the previous company, now you wouldn't go there, but now you have the car, you can go show up, hey, we've been trying to contact you. I'm the field underwriter, sent your request. Here we go. That's great that you can get it in and out in 30 minutes. How do you go about collecting signatures and doing all that stuff in 30 minutes? Because I know that is very quick, Cam.
I do say that Americo, our premier partner, everybody's favorite company, does a quick prescription check. So you're going to have to put your signature on here, so that way they can release your medical records from the Medical Information Bureau.
Got it. So, and then through that one, once you do that one part, boom, in and out really quickly.
Yeah, and I do that before I show numbers too.
Even
Because
before you show numbers?
my license proves everything. Like, I don't need to show any other information.
I understand. So okay, so I'm walking it through. So even before you show numbers, you're trying to see if they can even get approved with Americo, because Americo that sends that little message saying yes or no. So which is great, because then if you can live with Americo or you have to pivot somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, you being seasoned, you can already know if you can even go with Americo to begin with.
Yep.
But once you're already in the application, they sign the first section of it, and then you transition to questions and so on. Then it's just a matter of like, okay, I just need account routing number, and off we go. Who's the beneficiary? And here's the full application.
I kind of get that out all up front, because I tell them that these companies do bank verification, which they do. Even if you want to do direct bill with Aetna, right? Yeah. Let's say they choose direct bill, you have to have a card on file or an account on file, because it's for consumer protection first and foremost. That's why I tell the people on the phone too, if I'm doing a live transfer, I'm going to need this bit of information from you. If there's going to be any issues, tell me now, because if not, we can get you approved for immediate issue coverage in 15 minutes. But when I'm in the home, I tell them straight up, when I have my ID on the table, right, it's all out up front. Like, they're going to need this bit of information from you to even see if you can get the actual full approval at the end of the day. Do you have a credit union or a normal bank like Chase or PNC?
Got it. Fantastic. Excellent. And then, of course, you do your presentation. By that point in time, you're already pretty much not just assuming, because you didn't give it much of a chance. Like at the beginning, you gave yourself that 5-minute chance to know if you're going to in or you're going to be out knocking on doors. But if you're past those 5 minutes, you know that there's a high percentage chance that you're going to close that one, right?
Yeah, and the hardest part about this job is just getting in front of the people, because as a broker, you have to kind of work around other people's schedules in order to make yours work as well. So what I've kind of done is shorten it to where I just kind of haul ass Thursday to Sunday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm in the office, and I'm, getting reorganized for the next trip. It may be Indiana, it may be Michigan, it may be Florida, which I enjoy the most.
I can imagine. Where in Florida do you usually go?
Pensacola.
Pensacola.
And I also run in Mobile, Alabama, which is like
really close
minutes.
by. It's like right next to it. I've driven through it. It's amazing.
Really Mobile is probably my all-time favorite spot to run in.
That's great. I personally run New Mexico, Colorado. Well, I'm in Denver, located myself. But I usually do New Mexico, go to Albuquerque, Santa Fe, all that area. And then I go across to Texas, to Amarillo, Lubbock area, and then back up again, which is great.
I want to run in Texas for sure. I have my Texas license as well.
You do? Texas is great, man. People in Texas are nice, and it's good. I literally got back from Texas this morning. I left at 7 a.m., got here at 1 directly to the Denver office. They were doing a training there. So I pulled in there like, hey, what's up? Training time. Here we go.
I saw Wiley do it. Yeah, Wiley's a great guy.
Wiley's great. Wiley did it. We had, a lot of people like Trey Honeycutt was there. Of course, Zach Gordowski doing a bit of a presentation as well. Silvana did a great presentation on annuities and how to find annuity money in the home. And Clint Olsen, Brian also did a really good one. But yeah, very, very good stuff. That's also a benefit of having an office close by. You are at the office right now in Ohio, or are you? Yeah, your personal office in FFL, right? That's great.
Yep.
Perfect. So, what was I gonna say? So, once you, since you're a seasoned agent, I want to know how you handle these. After you close the deal's done, do you do any follow-up with the clients afterwards, Cam? Or is something that if they need me, here's my contact information, call me?
Mhm.
or you just leave it there, or do you
Yeah,
send
basically
them
just say,
something? How do you go about it?
yeah, in the beginning, I'm like, you can call me for anything, and then it gets too stressful. You're self-employed, so you can really tell them anything as far as when you're available. I just tell them to get a hold of me. I'm available typically Monday to Sunday if you don't have time to wait on hold for an hour with an insurance company,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it.
Perfect. Excellent. Very good. Very good. All right. So, couple of things here. So you're building a team, right? You got
Hmm.
yourself a recruiter. Do you have any? How big is your team so far, or is it
Um,
just getting
right
started?
now, we're actually just now kind of taking off.
Good.
I have six writers, um, and we actually just set up a bunch of ads. I have a website up, ffluniversity.agency.com.
Very good.
Um, and I'm putting a lot of money into this thing, so it's about to take off for sure.
Man, I'm very happy for you. I hope it really works out. So the couple of questions that I ask here, that's why it's called Challenge with Pancho. So I want to know a little bit about like how do you challenge your team right now, especially like building it up to like step up to the challenge of every day doing the business because you have to show up. If you don't show up, you don't get paid. You're independent, right? So how do you go about
Yeah,
that?
anybody in the insurance business knows that it's not a full-time job, it's not a part-time job, it's an all-the-time job.
Hmm.
I got a death claim on Monday morning, and this lady had called me on Sunday, and I didn't even know, right? So if you're for whatever reason not available on that Monday, and her husband had died at 8 a.m. that Monday morning, it was 9:30, and she was calling me. What would she have done? Because she was in a trailer in the middle of nowhere in what they call Florida Bama. So that's my first actually death claim ever. So it was
In
really
in
eye
two in,
opening.
in a little bit over 2 years.
And I sold
Wow.
them in May. And I'll tell you why I love this job so much is because not only am I able to help her out, and they're on disability, so she's losing a lot, like a
Oh
lot,
man, I can't even imagine. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'm in the financial position now to not only have that policy pay out to her, but I'm going to see her in person and help her out because the first 2 years of that policy, it's going to go into contestability. And he's had that policy for 4 months, so she's going to have to wait a little bit longer for that policy to pay out. The
Right.
second reason why I love this company so much is because I was able to get him approved for immediate issue coverage, day one coverage. He had a brain shunt, and I'm not even sure what that is, but it wasn't a question on the application.
Hmm.
He had a brain shunt put in a year prior.
Wow.
Yeah, so Aetna, actually.
Hmm.
Aetna, yep. Approved him for the preferred level, non-smoker. Um, he wasn't on
Not even
disability.
modify. Prefer right away. That like the best one. Okay.
Yep, yep. And she's going to get $10,000.
Which
At
for her is probably going to be a lot. I'm
my
sure that
old
you're in a
company,
trailer.
right? Yep. So it's going to be a lot for what they need to get done. But they have a GoFundMe up right now, which is why I'm going to see her in person. I'll be down in Alabama and Florida next week and
Hmm.
next weekend, so I'll be able to see her, and um, I don't know, it'll be pretty cool.
I can imagine.
A surreal
Yeah,
experience for
I
sure.
can imagine. No, absolutely, a very real experience.
Yes, it is. No, and like, I had an agent of mine, or not of mine, but an agent with me in the room when she called, and he was like, "No way." He had been with us for like 4 months. It, I feel like I don't know. It just when you're passionate about something and it actually works the way you want it to, and you actually can help a family, that's great.
No, man, absolutely, it is 100%. So, so I'm going back to my question. How do you challenge your team about it? Just to be like,
I mean, I don't. I don't try to challenge anybody. I just lead from the front and do what I can.
good.
Um, I don't think that I'm special in any way. I don't try to portray that either. Um, if I do, I mean, it's just who I am
Hmm.
coming out naturally. But um, trying to write 20, 30, 40, 50,000 a month is really all I'm focusing on. And that is why I hired the full-time admin.
Makes sense.
And I did warn her it's not full-time, part-time. It is all the time.
Hmm.
I am obsessed. Um, and it's a good thing. I feel like if you watch other people's success and actually get in touch with those people and see what they're doing.
They're
Watch
obsessed.
watch what they did. They buckled down, they stayed quiet, they built and built and built, and now they have an integrity deal or they're close to it and they're getting hundreds of $1,000s monthly. And the bonuses are insane. That is the ultimate goal is freedom, not only time, but freedom to buy and do whatever you want at the same time is going to be amazing because it's on the rise.
Once you get your integrity deal, because it's coming, come for sure eventually in the near or long future, but it's gonna come with that drive. What would you like to do afterwards? What would you like to do for yourself?
I would like to,
I know that some people
yeah.
like to like buy real estate and do X and Y, travel around, whatever. What would you like to do?
I mean, since I was like 13 years old, all I really ever cared about was bodybuilding and um, that type of competitive nature, powerlifting. So I'm gonna do that full time and probably invest in real estate like most smart people would. Um, and that's pretty much it. Just live off of
And
um,
do what you love.
yeah. Well, and I'm gonna be still running this thing too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
100%. No, I know. That's not out of the question. This is an all time
yeah,
thing. All day
yeah.
thing.
Once I can actually stay in one place for longer than 10 days, I'll be able to focus more on the nutrition and the supplementation. But right now, I'm focused on setting my not only me but my mom up for um, early retirement.
Very good, man. That's remarkable. So, two more questions. Number one, like, how do you challenge your clients when they are kind of like a bit pushy, be like, oh, I'm not sure about it, and because you're in that 5 minute period window, how do you challenge them to make sure that they move forward?
Um, I just I basically just say whatever comes to mind in that moment. I have no filter. They don't deserve for me to not have
I
one.
wanna think about it, Cam. I wanna think about it.
Let me ask you, Pancho, how old are you?
31.
31. Okay, how old is your daughter?
Oh, she's 10.
She's 10. So you've been thinking about this for 10 years. You know, I would say 5 years ago, this was a rash decision to make. But right now, without an approval for any coverage at all, for one, we accomplished nothing by this 30-minute, brief conversation we've had. And two, you still don't have coverage. So in order for me to, do my job correctly, I'm going to need to get you approved for coverage. But the good thing is you're going to have 30 days to adjust it up, adjust it down, or leave it alone. But let's just get that put in place for the peace of mind that you were looking for when you first requested me to come to your house in the first place. Make sense? And if I get a yes there, I
Just move
close it.
forward. Just
Or
go for
if
it.
they're like, it's not fitting the budget or something, I can't afford it. First, I ask them if it's important to them. And then I'll just ask, if they say, of course, why? Why is this important to you?
Again, go back to the why.
And this gets really awkward sometimes.
Oh yeah,
And this
100%.
is how you honestly close bigger deals. There's no really, it's not adjusting at all. Like if that first premium comes out and they want to adjust it, they have the authority to do so.
Of
They
course,
can. But we want to
absolutely.
make sure that not only what we put in place is comfortable, but it's something that they can afford in the long run. So if they need to make that adjustment, I always let them know that they can. Um, but if it's important to them, having something put in place rather than nothing is better. I mean, at this point, I'm reducing coverage, but I'm trying to upsell them in some aspects at the end as well.
Got it. Makes sense.
I'm
Very
like,
good.
did you guys want to like try to hit a home run today
Getting
and
some
get that
accidental.
25,000? I know you were thinking about it really hard right there.
Right.
Um, I'm about to submit it, and some people go for it.
Yeah, I can imagine. No,
They're
you're
like, yeah,
right.
why not? Let's just get it done, so I don't have to worry about it.
Exactly. No, you're right. 100%.
Yep.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. So now the last challenge for you is I make everyone speak a little bit of Spanish. I know you've been going to Florida lately, so your Spanish is
Let's
probably
try.
pretty good
Yeah.
as a little. So
Probably not.
no problem. So here we go. So you have to. I'm gonna give you the phrases. There are two phrases. The first one is si no es ahora, ¿cuándo? Si no es
Si no es
ahora,
ahora,
¿cuándo?
cuando.
Desafía este momento. Desafía este momento.
So, the
Desa-
first part is tripping me up, dude.
desafía
Desafía
este
este
momento.
momento.
Very good.
Do
Si
I
no
say it
es,
all at once now?
si no es ahora, ¿cuándo? Desafía este momento. They all did it. They all
Dude,
did it. They
that's
all did it. Si no,
all right.
si no
Say it
es
one more time.
one more time. Si no es ahora, ¿cuándo?
Señoras, ahora es cuando.
Desafía este momento.
Desafía este momento.
Perfect. Very good, man. You done it. You
Okay.
did it.
All
You
right.
passed it. There you go. You're making some
Let's
people laugh
go.
out there. Vamos, Cam. Excellent.
Trying.
So this is what it means. If it's not now, when? Challenge this moment.
I like this. Yeah.
Challenge this moment, because it's what we're seeing. Like anything that you're doing throughout your day, there's an opportunity to challenge yourself in that particular scenario, that particular
Agreed.
moment. If it is with your team, with yourself, with your clients, with your family, with whatever, there's always opportunity to do better for ourselves, for the world, for the people around us, right? So that's the thing that we're trying to do here. That's why I wanted to learn how you challenge your team, how you challenge yourself, how you challenge your
Mhm.
clients, and just to challenge you to speak Spanish as well. Some people like
Yeah.
Andy cheated. He speaks Spanish really well, so he cheated. But
Paulus?
Paulo speaks Spanish. He lived in Argentina for a little bit. I don't know if you knew
Oh,
that.
okay. I did not.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
there you know. He I'm originally from Argentina. That's where I'm
Oh,
from.
okay.
So he lived in Argentina for for I don't know, a couple of months, but he speaks very well. But anyway, so thank you so much for
Yeah.
being here. Quick question: if anyone wants to work with you, Cam, how can they reach you? How can they come and join your team? I know you're hiring everywhere in the country.
Yeah. You can go to ffluniversity.agency.com.
Okay,
Um,
ffluniversity.agency.com. Okay.
yep. You can reach me directly at 614-902-2521. And if I had to throw one thing in here, it would I feel like I restarted insurance when I got here
Mm-hmm.
because what I came from was completely different.
Okay.
Completely different. It's free up front until it's not type deal. Here, you're actually helping people. So if you haven't given this 6 months and you started part-time or you are part-time, or if you're full-time and you haven't given this 90 days of all-out effort, why have you quit? And if you're brand new, don't quit until you really have put in everything, which a lot of people won't.
Don't. You're
They
right.
won't.
You're right.
I have gone 3 days of running super hard and sold 2 policies.
It happens.
Those 2 policies were 9,000 AP. The numbers work out if you're running the correct appointments.
Yeah.
I'm not special. I know Easton and Jake, they're great guys, and Zach's great guys. They're not special. Anybody can do this. Look at yourself. Look at Silvana. Look at everybody. Everybody comes in here and kills it. They figure it out. And if they leave, I've seen them come back. It's great. But
You know
one
what?
piece of advice: just stick to it. Stick to it.
I agree with you 1,000%. Like if you come here, you're putting a bet on yourself, which
Mhm.
if you're not willing to put a bet on yourself, then don't even waste your time coming here. But if you're putting a bet on yourself, at least give yourself a 90-day period. That's what I did with myself. I said, I'm gonna give myself 90 days. I told my girlfriend, this is what I'm doing, this is the plan. If this doesn't work out, I know I can go and work get myself another W-2 job. I'm totally fine with that.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with it. I've done that
Mhm.
for many years. But if I can figure out a way in 90 days to look at it, to be very to analyze it, to see like where did I do the right things, where did I fail. I allow myself, Cam, to fail so much those 90 days
Yeah, I
on
still do
purpose.
every day.
And I'm over 2 years later, I'm sure you do, right? But I allow myself to do that, knowing that it was part of the process of learning how to do this stuff. Man, I'm like looking like 9 months later. This weekend was my biggest weekend so far in the industry, and I'm so happy about it. And
Yes.
but the thing is
Congrats.
that thank you, I appreciate it. And but just like you, a couple of weeks back, I had like a lot of appointments, and I saw like two posts, and I was thinking like, man, what am I doing wrong?
Hmm.
And it's just as you mentioned, it's a numbers game. You need to be on top of it because it's gonna work out eventually.
Hmm.
And I appreciate your time. I appreciate
Yeah.
you like taking the time to share your knowledge because you have a lot of stuff to offer here. I know that anyone that will go and work with you will be like blessed man to be working with you. I
Hmm.
look forward you to meeting you in person sometime soon.
Yes. I
And
do too.
man, absolutely
Are you
an
gonna be in
absolute pleasure.
Miami?
Oh man, actually, I'm gonna be in Miami mid-time in October. I don't know if you're gonna be there sometime in the middle of October. I'm
No,
gonna be in
I'm
Miami.
talking about in the conference in February.
Oh, 1000%. Yeah,
Okay, yes.
absolutely gonna be there.
Good.
100%. I'm
Me
trying to
too.
get that. I'm trying to
Craziest
get.
part about
Uh,
that is it's free.
yeah. Well, I'm trying to get myself that red jacket. You know,
Same,
I'm
me
trying
too.
to get
I'll see
myself
you
that
on
red jacket.
stage for sure.
I really look forward to it. I hope I can make it. I'm very excited about it, and I think that we like we have October, November, December. We have 3 months to go, and
Hmm.
I'm very excited. I think that a lot of people have done a lot of very impressive things in 3 months. So
I do too.
I think we can definitely pull it off, and it's going to be very remarkable and a good place to be to
I'll have to look, but I
to
think I
look.
have like 170 left, maybe, or
Yeah.
maybe 160
Oh,
left. So
nah,
I'm gonna be going out
you've got it, man. You've got it. You've got
close.
it. It's gonna
Yes.
happen. It's gonna happen. Well, man, and I'm absolute pleasure. If you need anything, please holler. My phone number is 575-770-8187. Anyone trying to look for work over here in Denver or anywhere in the country, we're also hiring. And thank you. Thank you very
No
much, Karen,
problem.
for
Thank you
pleasure
for
to
having
meet you.
me.
You have a good rest of your day, all right? Take
You
care.
too. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Bye.